they were able to do to respond. And for the side of Noble, I mean, they had a pretty good composition run that game, but it was just countered at every turn by the near mirror match of Team Solo Mid. So I guess that one shows right there in when it comes to the Adagio Glaive composition, Fortress is greater than Arden for that final slot in that comp. But we will have to see what these teams are going to do, as we do have at least one more game to go before we decide, or before we crown a third place victor here at the Vainglory Master Series. So to get us set up for game number 3 with a 2-0 lead for TSM, I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to Chalupa Batman on Twitch and K.C. over on Mob Crush.
Alright guys, we are ready to get into game number 3 of this series. This is a best of 5 series, so if TSM takes this next match, it is going to be a 3-0 for TSM, but Noble eSports is definitely not out of it yet. We are going to... okay. Alright, we are going to jump right back into it. K-Dot, what do you think Noble eSports can come back here?
From what I've seen so far, it just looks like TSM is just playing too dominant, and even with just comps and in general play, they're just outpicking and outplaying. So I don't expect it, but I'm not gonna count them out completely. They may come in to this next match with a comp they haven't shown yet, possibly, or maybe they'll just catch TSM and get lucky with a blind pick.
Absolutely. Noble eSports, this is their second series they are playing today, so it was a doubleheader for them. They have to be pretty tired at this point. They've definitely played a lot of matches. But we're going to jump right into game number 3. This is going to be TSM versus Noble eSports for the third place match. This is actually match point for TSM. Let's see if Noble eSports can pull it back.
And we are starting up this third match of the Vainglory Master Series. Oh, maybe not. Oof. What are we feeling right now, Tasty? Is this going to be a 3-0 coming out for the side of Team Solomid, or is Noble? Can Noble do this underdog? Because I like an underdog. I really hope Noble, fingers crossed, that they can come back and just win this one. Because I like that. I do like.
Yeah, you know, I love the underdog story, and I also want to see the Noble win, just because I want to see more Vainglory. That's I always love getting to see as much as possible, but unfortunately, just the way that these first 2 games have gone, it looks like Team Solomid just absolutely have Noble's number here, and it's gonna be a really tough road for them to manage to get the victory. But of course, again, going into game 3, there's 6 heroes for each team that are now unavailable to be played. So what is TSM going to answer with? I mean, they ran the Arden, I believe, in game 1, and Fortress in game 2. That's Flash X's top 2 heroes. Like, so he does obviously still play more than that, but those are his top 2 hands down. It's a pretty big drop off from there. So we'll have to see just how they are going to be, what he's going to run to after those 2 heroes are taken away. We've seen him on Catherine before. We've seen him run, some more unconventional picks as well. But I would expect it to be a Catherine, but you never know. They may pull out something really crazy. They may just go for something standard. That's the question that has to get answered here at the Vainglory Master Series. And because of the fact that these compositions can end up being really, out there, they could just end up with it being blind pick. Noble may just accidentally end up picking a complete counter composition to TSM, or it could end up the other way around. We'll have to wait and see.
And just to correct you, Mr. Dicey, Flash X hasn't played his Arden yet. He played the Catherine in the first game, so he still has one of his major comfort picks open to him. But I'm all fingers crossed for Noble right now. I've got to be a regionist right here. I'm British, so I love my underdogs. I don't want to see a 3-0 sweep, only because I like more Vainglory, just like yourself, Tasty. and I just want to see Noble win it. I'm sorry, TSM, if you're listening to this. I want to see Noble come out of nowhere and just be like, "Yo, we got this. Yo, DSM, we're gonna destroy you," and just play some heroes and some comps that we have never ever seen. And I don't know what I'm going to see. Like, I want to see alphas. I want to see ozos. I want to see pedals because they don't have the love. And tasty. I don't even know what to say anymore.
Yeah, well, we are going to be finding out what they want to do momentarily, as we should be ready to get into game just a moment, as they are. Looks like all the players are ready. So as soon as we're going to be starting up in just a second here, and we'll have to see what they do decide to run with. That was my apologies. I thought that FlashX had ran Arden in game 1, but it was actually the Catherine that he ran. So he does still have the Arden available, which, going back to talking about how, Fortress and Arden were his top 2, Arden is his top 1. Like, Arden is hands down. That is the one that he is known for, is his Arden play. So this is, obviously you have to assume that it's going to get picked here for game number 3 because of the fact that they did run the Catherine and the Fortress already. And now that we do have everyone locked in, it looks like it will be that Arden for Flash X. And so this is going to be just an uphill battle for Noble now, even more so than just being behind 2-0, because Flash X is on Arden. You have Mixi on the Black Feather and Kolvamik on Sky. That is a very strong composition that they were able to save for game 3.
I think what you were saying about counter picks, as much as I am the underdog master and I want them to win, but it looks like we have a counter kick here for the side of TSM. We have that Sky against that Cruel. Obviously, a Cruel can kill a Sky. Like, there's no means about it. But early game, that Sky's going to have that advantage because I'm pretty sure Cruel just won't be able to get to her. And then you have Blackfeather against Scarf. I mean, that's just obvious who's going to win that one quite. But in the early game, Scarf might just be able to pip it. And if they can get that pressure on and just get lucky, essentially, or maybe get that. I'm gonna retract that statement back and say if they get their perfect positioning, use those professional, decent plays that they are known for, this could be a draw, a comeback coming out from Noble. But Tasty, be on the spot before this first fight happens. Who's gonna win?
Well, it depends on who gets the initiation in this first fight. We've seen Kroll Finn win early on, but look at Kolvamik's damage going out onto Uni. This is going to be heavily in favor of Team Solomid. FlashX dropped low, but not low enough, and now Mixi has joined the fray as well. With 3-on-2, El Riesgo is going to split away to try and make sure that Xenotech can survive, but Kolvamik just has blinders on that Scarf and just takes out Xenotech's Scarf, and that is 3 kills early on in favor of Team Solomid.
That is absolutely perfect, and he still doesn't pick up the farm! Oh, he used his smite to try and get the farm and still didn't get it. That is another second kill. This is a 4-0 already. Will it be a flawless game? Fingers crossed it doesn't. Noble should have this in the bag, but Kolvamik is trying his hardest to get this farm, but they've picked the counter pick, Stacey. They've got a perfect counter to this comp, in my humble, stupid opinion.
Yeah, and again, it's blind pick. They had no idea what was going to be picked by Noble. They could only guess based on what they had already run previously. They knew what they couldn't pick up. But I feel this is more just Team Solomid just decided, you know what, this is the strongest composition that we can run with our 6 heroes that were banned, and it just happened to be perfectly aligned going up against the composition of Noble. I mean, again, this is a really strong composition that they have just in general. This is a composition I wouldn't be surprised to see a team running in the VGL or things like that. So, Team Solomid, they did such a good job of planning out their picks for these first 3 games, and that they got strong compositions that they're comfortable on for all 3 games thus far. Hopefully, for the side of Noble, they will force them to have to pick a 4th set of heroes. But the way that this one has started and the way the previous 2 have gone, I don't think that's going to be the case.
Oh, I don't think so either. This is we saw there that the Xenotech and Source gathering that, but I'm going to hold my thought as Xenotech gets called out one more time. He has to use his boots to get away. He's going to come back and use those Spitfires, definitely. But now he almost gets picked up by the full barrage, JC. This is really looking great for the side of Noble, but now there's a Crawl. He's joined the fight, and he is at full health. Crawl as the full barrage lands onto the fin, not really doing much damage, actually. That light shield really doing its necessary work as FlashX punches the hell out of that poor Crawl there, trying to keep him at the distance so Coldemik can farm away. Super Strike through the minions. Tasty, this is again looking like a team solo win.
Yeah, look at the jungle farm, 11 for Uni compared to 26 for Coldemik. That is a massive disparity, especially for someone like Kroll, who relies on having a strong early game, or at least not having a bad early game. But that is exactly what's going on here. He's going to try and go in on Coldemik, but you can't really stick onto Sky like that. He does get that smite off, but it's not enough for the kill. It's just enough to heal himself and try and stay alive, as Xenotech and El Riesgo have come down to help. But Coldemik, he does fall. However, Flash picks up the kill onto Xenotech. And so now he's going to try and run for his life. Meanwhile, Mixi just kind of hanging out in the lane, continuing to farm. He's like, I don't really care about your fight going on. There's minions up here to kill. And so now
and he gets away anyway.
Finally rotate down. FlashX somehow, some way gets out of this. Now it looks like he might be wanting to go in, but Mixi is there for the slow, and FlashX goes back in. That was a mistake, but will he pay for it all that much? Because Mixi, he's looking to take down Uni.
And he picks up the kill, and there we go. As Coldemik came into the fight, that Crew would have been dead either way. Even he would have been able to survive a little bit longer, Black Panther. Coldemik was there, and he's just going to go in and take Crew's backs, extending his jungle farm lead. It's not a flawless game. We saw 2 kills being picked up there. FlashX did fall along with the Sky. I think it's going to come down to Xenotech in this game. I think Xenotech's going to be the defining factor, whether he can get, because Crew's starting to get a little bit underfarmed. I think if Xenotech can stay ahead and start putting the damage on and the pokes in before a fight, this game is not lost by any means, shape, or form.
Yeah, but it's so much easier said than done against a team like Team Solomid, as they are just putting on the pressure now. It looks like Noble wants to go for a fight here, but again, they're not able to get enough damage down onto Mixi. Blackfeather, early on is relatively easy to gank, but he's level 6 now. It's almost impossible to gank a Blackfeather once he's level 6, unless you just happen to time it correctly and go in for the gank after he uses Rose offensively.
Yeah, or defensively.
Yeah, or defensively, although usually if he's using it defensively, he's going to be so close to his turret by that point that you're not going to be able to gank him. But either way, looking at the farm totals, 60 farm for Mixi, 43 for Xenotech, and then 50 for Coldemik to 13 from Uni. Last time we checked on the farm, Uni had 11. He has gotten two minions killed since that point about a minute and a half, 2 minutes ago. That is just complete and utter dominance from Coldemik and FlashX in this jungle, as Uni just hasn't been able to get anything going in his favor, and it's not going to be happening now either, as El Riesgo is going to fall down, and Uni has to back off of this.
But Xenotech won a fight against Blackfeather. While that was happening, it was a fantastic pickup onto the fin. He just got caught out. Cruel was there. Coldemik actually went into the sign of Cruel, but he backed off immediately. Cruel just didn't want the fight, even though he was at the perfect range. But this Scarf is definitely going against his counter Blackfeather perfectly, and now FlashX got caught out here beautifully. But the stun from the Devil Bomb catches out the Cruel, deletes him so fast as Mixi uses his Rose offensive to just try and help secure the kill, but it wasn't even necessary. He takes too much damage from that. Xenotech, as I said, is being the defining factor of this fight, landing those Spitfires perfectly as the fountain is popped. There's the Polite Company to draw them in, and now Xenotech is not out by any means, but there is the gauntlet to stop the chase. And now there is a Coldemik in the fight. He has that Frostburn. He is ready to start doing some damage, as there is no energy. Xenotech in the lane. He's not going to provide much threat against anyone right now, is he, Tasty?
Yeah, no, a Scarf without energy is not a terribly threatening baby dragon, but he is just going to be recalling. Meanwhile, in the jungle, Coldemik stealing the jungle away some more from Uni. Uni, who did manage to pick up another 3 or 4 minions, so a much better 2-minute period of time for him, but still, to only have 18 farm now at 8 minutes. again, compared to Kolomik, who's sitting at 58, that is a massive, massive disparity. I mean, look at the items. There's already a Frostburn and almost half of a broken myth. Meanwhile, there's actually going to be a fight going on, so we'll have to hold that thought for a second. But this fight is just, so one-sided, as Kolomik is the only one getting dropped low on Team Solomid, and El Riesgo is going to be dropping. Flash X has to be careful because those turrets are putting out a lot of damage, but they get the 2 kills, and now they just go right back in onto the turret.
And they do indeed. Now Xenotech is on the wrong side of this turret. He's going to try and do what he can to anyone he can, but there is the full barrage picking him up. But he picks up the kill on the Black Feather beautifully. The Xenotech is an impressive laner by all means, shape, and forms. And that was unbelievable. Now there is a Uni in the bush up there, and they know he's going to be able to pick up these 2 kills very easily if he gets the chance. Uni's probably just going to go to the back of Team Solomid, but there'll be a Black Feather up soon to contest him on that one. Do you think he's going to get the backs as Kolomik stops any farm being stolen by Finn?
Well, Kroll he's definitely going to get at least the forward healing camp, but he's not going to get these back camps. Mixi already takes the healing camp. The only chance would be a steal. The first one goes to Mixi. The fight is on. Those weakness stacks are building up. Mixi gets the second camp, and now the rest of Team Solomid is here. And Uni just has to be wondering what he has to do to get anything in this game. He is down once again, 1-6-1. This Kroll has just been absolutely punished. And now El Riesgo, he's going to be falling as well on this Finn. And Team Solomid just so dominant now, 13-3 in under 10 minutes. The gold lead is sitting at about 6,000 as well. And now Xenotech, he's going to fall. Not quite fast enough to be an ace from Hell's Heart. Just doesn't connect either. This turret is going to go down. Meanwhile, Mixi just dancing around this barrier with Krull, and now a fountain comes out. There's going to be another kill picked up. This is just cinematic destruction of Noble Esports by Team Solomid right now.
This is absolutely incredible play coming out, like you said, from Team Solomid. They've got the counter. They've got that early game thing. And are you feeling cold right now, Tasty? Are you feeling a bit chilly?
You know what? Just for the sake of wondering where you're going with that one, I'll bite.
It's because I'm feeling a little bit of a snowball going across the Halcyon Fold today. Huh? I stole that one from
I mean, it's all right. This is I think a bit more than a snowball though at this point. I mean,
this is a blizzard.
This is just full on avalanche going down right now. Yeah. I mean, it's again, Team Solomid is so far ahead at this point. 11 minutes in, and the gold lead is already almost 10,000. That means Team Solomid over the course of this game have earned on average almost 1,000 more gold per minute than their opponents.
And there is a Warhorn to go in, and look at this. Uni is just taking so much damage to come out of this spot to try and keep them alive. The Death from above zoning out both of the laners, but Scarf wants to be on the back line, but they pick up Finn so quickly as Golden has just the damage coming out. It's just insane, but the pokes coming out from Xenotech are absolutely perfect as he tries to clear this wave before they even get there. But no, they want this turret, so they're probably going to go and get this turret as they clean it so fast. The Flash X Fountain, absolutely fantastic, and Team Solomid take a third turret at 11 minutes 48 seconds in Tasty Bacon. Is there any return for Noble?
At this point, I gotta say no. I mean, you're so far behind this right now. You know, if they had been able to keep that third turret up, that's one of the best spots to try and hold and just have that massive turtle defense. But with that third turret gone, 12 minutes, there's really just almost nothing you can do. Infusions are coming out now for Team Solomid, and we're nowhere even close to Kraken being available. There's still 2.5 minutes until that objective is up, and I feel like Team Solomid, they might look for another sub 15-minute game here. Looking at the item builds, again, for Kulvameek in the jungle, he's got Frostburn, Broken Myth, and is working towards I would assume a Eve of Harvest there. Meanwhile, Uni, his jungle counterpart, has a Shiver Steel. Like, that's the cheapest tier 3 item in the game, is the only finished item for Krull. Even looking at Xenotech, he's been doing much better, but still over 40 CS behind his lane counterpart. He does have Broken Myth and Eve of Harvest, which is a really nice item power spike to be at for a Scarf. But Mixi has a Tyrant's Monocle and a Serpent's Mask and the Shiver Steel completed. So just again, item advantages all across the board for Team Solomid and a beautiful gauntlet.
So perfect, and then they just lock down the side of Full Scarf. But look at this! Nicole the Mig is doing so much damage to Yuri, and he is in base! You see it brought him down to under half. Elvis Splash Egg takes out one turret, and he picks up the kill! Oh, that is the ace, and that is the game. You can't count it out until the Vein Crystal's broken, but that Vein Crystal's going to be broken anytime soon, and that is a 3-0 sweep. A straight 6-game loss coming out from Noble eSports there. Just a fantastic showing from the side of TSM, and we will look at the builds very quickly as Xenotech goes against Golden Meek. He almost won that one, but wow, Tasty Bacon, just wow.
Yeah, the crystal being destroyed in under 14 minutes. The final timer shows 14:01. But what a showing from Team Solomid. I think they finally heard how many times recently I was talking about how they're on this downward slide, how they don't look like the TSM that we expect, how they looks like a different team. I think maybe they finally heard all of that, and it finally sank in, because this right here, this was the Team Solomid that we've expected ever since the Winter Championships. This was the Team Solomid that everyone has been looking for the past few weeks and month even, and so it's just they were just so dominant, and I don't think when TSM plays like this, there is no team that can beat them. I mean, except maybe Hammers, who was the first team to beat them. I feel like that's the only team that would even be close at this point, because they just look so absolutely dominant. But I mean, even then, we've seen when Team Solomid plays their best, they sweep everyone, and that's what happened here. It's what happened at the Winter Championships. And is this a sign of things to come? Has Team Solomid finally found their groove once again?
Maybe they have. Maybe you never know. Maybe they got lucky. But Team Solomid is not a team that gets lucky by any means, shape, or forms. They are fantastic players. If you play with Flash, you know how just. Well, he plays like he is psychic. You got Cold the Meek, who knows when every single rotation is up in the jungle. Like, you will be playing with him, and he will just turn around and go, "Oh, that camp's up in 5 seconds," and the camp is up in 5 seconds. Like, this is a team that knows the game back to front, forward to back, side to back, diagonally, and they show it in every match they play. So Team Solomid, they're on the up and up once again. Don't count these boys out, because they will wreck your face, in my opinion. But of course, Noble, not a team to be counted out by any means, shape, or form. They have Xenotech, they have Uni, fantastic players and a fantastic team. But unfortunately, Team Solomid took the win here, and that is the end of the VMS and NA. But before we go, we will be throwing it back to our host to finish it off over on Chalupa Batman on Twitch and K.C. on Mob Crush. Back to you guys.
All right, and there we have it. TSM takes 3rd place in the first Vainglory Master Series North America. And unfortunately, Noble Esports will fall to 4th place, but they still did a great job making it this far into the tournament. Tomorrow we are going to have the finals of the tournament. It is going to be Hammers Velocity versus Nemesis Excrucio, who did win against Noble Esports today. So make sure to tune into that tomorrow. I'm not sure when the time is going to be yet, but we will be blasting that on Twitter. Make sure to follow us at VMS_NA, and we'll be letting you guys know what we're going to be doing on the schedule there. I think that's it for today. Thank you to all the teams that showed up. Thank you to our casters, Billy G and Tasty Bacon, for joining us. Sure. And thank you to... Can I thank myself? Is that allowed?
Human being.
No.
Thank yourself. Give yourself a little pat on the back.
Thank you to Chalupa Batman for streaming on Twitch, and thank you to K.C. for streaming on Mob Crush. But I think that's going to be it for us here at the Vainglory Master Series. This is Chalupa Batman and K.C. signing off. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.
See you guys.